may or may not know that the national gardening treasure that is Alan Titchmarsh has recently published his own gardening YouTube channel. Assumably it is just a slap in the face to the men in the BBC who haven't employed him in either the recent Chelsea Garden Show coverage or at any time in Gardener's World for flipping knows how long. What I will do, I'll put a link to Alan's channel down in the description, and as soon as he realises that I exist, maybe he will do the same for me. Thank you very much, Alan.
Yeah! Woo!
Alan has recently published a video on his top 5 shrubs for the garden, and all of these are easy to find, easy to grow, robust, reliable, and if I'm being completely honest, I hate every single one of them. They are awful. They are as though they've been chosen off of the local council's inner city roundabout planting list. They're as dull as can be. That's just my opinion. And in this video, that's my video, I'm going to be discussing the plants that he has chosen. I'm going to be explaining why I personally don't like them. It is just my opinion. I'm going to be giving you other suggestions as to which I feel would be better for you to grow in your garden. Each one of my suggestions, I'm pretty sure, has the award of garden merit from the Royal Horticultural Society, my favourite horticultural society. But before we start, I have some new rules. Now, this is because the channel is getting a lot more popular. We're getting a lot of people in the comments, and we're having a lot of really interesting questions and subjects being brought up. Not only that, people are also starting to talk to each other, sharing information, which is exactly what we wanted to do in the comments. And my favourite comments as they come through, I'm going to pin those to the top of the comments balls so everyone can see which ones I like the best. Again, just my opinion. However, those people who comment on there who are only really interested in giving out personal insults, and let's be honest with you, it's just part and parcel of owning a YouTube channel. Everybody gets it. It doesn't bother me in the least. It is a sign of success as far as I'm concerned. But if you are going to be silly, I may also pin you to the top and show everybody else just what an idiot you are. You have been warned. Don't make me come round. You're a big bloke, but you're out of shape. I do this for a living. Go on then, posh voiceover man. I know you've been waiting all day.
Shrub number 1, Cornus.
Yes, you know when people say there's a lot in the name, well, there's quite a lot to unpack with this name. Cornus Alba siberica. Everything has detail in it. The cornus is Latin meaning horn because of the hardness of the wood of this plant. The alba is white, means white, and relates to, I'm assuming, the flowers and the subsequent berries that, if you look with a bit of a squint, look like bunches of eyeballs looking at you. The Siberica relates to where this cultivar was found in Siberia, but it is also found in Korea and northern China, so there's a lot in a name. We would do well not to keep changing them because of decolonization, because then you will lose the history of the plant and the people that found it and the lives that were lost in doing so. Here endeth the lesson. Anyway, the reason why people plant this plant is because of the ornamental colour stems, which with regards to this plant is crimson on the new growth, which is why after bud break in the spring you would cut it down. In some cases you would cut part of it down to ground level and let it grow free. I don't like that way of doing it. I like to cut it down to about 6 or 9 inches, and then all that new growth come the winter when it drops its leaves, because it is a deciduous plant, you'll have this bright crimson ornamental value. You are probably not going to get that. I hardly ever, rarely ever see a decent display of Cornus Alba siberica. The only time I've seen a decent display is when it was planted in mass at Hadlow College Gardens, and it did look very interesting. But when I see in people's gardens, they've either not been cut properly, the coloration isn't there, the wood's spindly, you wouldn't see it, you just wouldn't see it. So you spend all year with this green plant with its boring white flowers, probably isn't going to produce any berries anyway. And even if you do remember to have cut it back in the spring, it just isn't going to show anything. It just doesn't do it to me. It is very, very boring. However, there is one form that I do quite like, which I do feel has far more value. It's another fly, green fingers, and that is Cornus Alba siberica elegantissima, which is a variegated form. But the nice thing about this particular form is that the variegation is white, and despite it being white, it does not scorch. It can still be grown in full sun or partial shade, so you've got that ornamental colour, which gives a really good backdrop for other plants in front of it. So if you were going to have a Cornus Alba siberica, then I would have had that one. But if you really want something amazing from the Cornus genus, then I would go for Chisia and its cultivars. That is absolutely stunning. That is a knockout of a plant. I thoroughly recommend it. Award of Garden Merit.
Oh, hold on a minute. If you're finding this video useful or even just mildly amusing, then don't forget to click the thumbs up, press on that subscription, and if you want to be notified of whenever we release a new video, then click on that notification bell. It helps us more than you know, and it allows us to do stupid visits like this in the future. Anyway, let's continue to find out what old boiled butt has to say. I've got bloody glasses, people. Too hot, too sunny. It's too lovely.
Come on then, you lazy git. You've got one job.
Shrub number 2. Eucalyptus.
You should always be slightly concerned when people start recommending Eucalyptus gunnii to you. It is an absolute monster of a plant. It grows absolutely huge. You cannot accommodate it in your regular suburban garden. Now, the second plant on Titchmarsh's list is a cultivar of Eucalyptus gunnii. Is it the sweet gum tree? Not quite sure. I'll stick that down there to tell you what it is. Now, I can't remember how big the tree species goes to. I don't know, 15, 20 meters tall. Well, this one isn't that. It is much more. It grows to about 8 meters tall, and you can grow it if you have it as a multi-stem plant, because that will drastically reduce the height of it. If you're using it for cut flower displays, which means you'll be constantly taking parts of it to keep its size down. But really, if you're buying a plant that gets absolutely huge and the only way to maintain it is to constantly keep knocking it back, it's that's a lot of work. And to be honest with you, you could be fighting a losing battle. I really wouldn't risk it. And the other thing is, and I'm going to quote this, it is an evergreen plant. Alan says, excuse me, it's a bit windy out here still. Eucalyptus doesn't lose its leaves at all. Come on, Alan. Anyone who's ever grown eucalyptus knows full well that these plants will constantly drop. They'll drop. All year round, there'll be this leaf litter everywhere. There is such a thing in botany called allelopathy, and that is where chemicals are released by the plant into the ground that inhibits the growth of other plants and the seedlings of other plants. And this is exactly what eucalyptus do. Their constant drop of these leaves with their fragrances and their weird inhibiting chemicals is part of their nature, is part of their competitiveness in order to outgrow other plants where they are. It's and they do it very, very well. If you've ever been to say Canary Island, hold on a minute, Madeira, most of their native tree habitat has been taken over by eucalyptus, which they were used for the wood industry, and now there's very little of the original, I think, laurel forests. It's a highly competitive plant. It does very well in the UK. Would I recommend it as a plant in the garden, even that small cultivar? No, not really. I really wouldn't go anywhere near it. I mean, they are an amazing, handsome plant, but they are enormous. And it's a very huge root system as well to accommodate the height of a tree like that. This root system's going out, so you are risking your buildings. No crap. Right, but I do have an excellent replacement for you. Pinus Strobus Blue shag. not funny, it's just the name of it. You get that same silvery blue colour, you get that ornamental branch work which you would have had to have created by lopping down your eucalyptus, and it doesn't get too big, slow growing. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Award of garden merit. I know it's expensive, but honestly, if you're going to have one plant in your garden, that one is an absolute jewel.
Shrub number 3. Rhododendron.
Yeah, Rhododendron cosmopolitan. Green leaves, you're going to have those green foliage mound for about 11 months of the year, and probably about 3 weeks of pink flowers. Yes, pink again, Alan, I'm calling you out on it. What a dull, boring, uninteresting plant. And they're so sensitive to everything as well. Half the time it's probably going to pick up some kind of fungal infection. They're a pain in the butt. I wouldn't grow them. But if you are, and Alan does go into the fact that it is an ericaceous plant, which it is, and that might put you off, because if you don't have acidic conditions, then you may need to mess around growing it in a pot. I wouldn't do that. Growing it into a raised border and backfilling that with ericaceous soil, which can make it very free draining. They do like to be kept permanently moist and free draining, so I don't know if that's going to work either. It's just not. I don't think they're brilliant plants. But if you did want a rhododendron and you want the pink one, and you didn't have acidic soil, then go for rhododendron Yakushimanum, which is another pink one, but it's far better plant. Not only has it got an award of garden merit, it was also shortlisted for Plant of the Century at the Chelsea Flower Show in 2013. I mean, that's got to be a better choice. It's got to be a better choice. But really, I wouldn't have either of those. I would have this. Absolutely knock it out of the park. Amazing plant. I haven't seen one of these for Sound Garden Centre for years, but we used to have it on our A to Z borders constantly. It was a standard plant. Now you don't see it, but take a look at this absolute beauty. Crinodendron hookeranum, a native to Chile. So it's evergreen like the rhododendron. It has a decent ornamental branch structure. Not really like your rhododendron. It flowers for a significantly longer time. So you're looking at over from spring until the summer. Be flowering now if you see them. It's got this wonderful scarlet lantern-like blooms. Really good. It is ericaceous again, like the rhododendron. Grows a bit taller, somewhere between 2 and 4 meters. It really does depend on the kitchen, but what a wonderful thing. So if you've got a place for your boring rhododendron cosmopolitan, kick that out. It's a load of old rubbish. Stick in a crinodendron. Oh mate, you'll be impressing your friends no end when that blooms.
Shrub number 4. Chisia Sundance.
Yeah, this one does have an award of garden merit. So, and it was when it first came out. I remember when this came out. Flipping heck, I mean, 40 years ago, at least when I first saw it. I think it was older than that. And it is a good plant. It is evergreen. It does flower profusely. It does have good perfume. But the problem with it is that it is planted to absolute death. It is so boring. It is common or garden plant. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see stuff that I see everywhere in my garden. I want to see something different. So yes, it is a good solid plant. Great yellow colour. You do need to get it in the sun to get that yellow colour, and it will fade in the autumn. But it's a good plant. It's a good plant. I know I was being a bit mean about it earlier on, but is it good enough? It's not interesting enough. It's yeah. Anyway, so my choice for you, if you want a yellow flower plant, if you want better blooms, stronger scent, then I'll go for the award of garden merit winning Philadelphus aurea. Now the only difference really, or only downside, is that this is a deciduous plant, whereas your Chisia Sundance is an evergreen. But really, I know Alan's trying to provide structure in the garden, and you can do that with evergreen plants. I would still go for the Philadelphus. I think it's a far more interesting plant. But again, just my opinion. Everyone's opinion is valid. Just mine is more so.
If there was a prize for top 5 most boring plants, then Euonymus japonicus, that really has got to take Lisa. First, second position of Jesus Christ, what a tedious looking thing. I mean, really? No, I don't like it. It is flipping boring. Even if you gave it to me, it would just be given back or dumped in the bin. There's no way anything that boring is going in my garden. I'm not doing it. Anyway, it is one of his recommendations. Yes, evergreen, flowers. It's actually quite a good attractor of pollinating insects once it's in bloom. You can topia it. It's very vigorous. You will need to do a lot of pruning on that. It's just, no, it's not, I don't like it. It's not my thing. But if you did want something evergreen, if you did want something that you can topia, if you did want something that isn't going to kill you off with its vapidness, then I would kick that one out and I'd put in a bay tree. You can buy them as a shrub and grow it as a shrub. You can trim it, they'll take trimming, you can topia it. It's a far, far superior plant. In my opinion. You can have your own opinion, I don't mind. And thank God that is the end of his top 5. I didn't like them. That was hard work. You can comment as you wish. I really don't mind. If you like them, say you like them, that's fine. If you don't like them for mine, you can say that, I don't mind. Or if you have your own alternative suggestions, it's a free world. You can say what you want, just don't start putting in personal insults, otherwise the angry voice will come out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you for watching this video this far. I'm going to see you in the next video. I'm going to have a cup of tea, lie down, put my feet up, read a good book. Right, now, just before you go, if you want to see more content, more behind the scenes stuff, and images that I've taken of some weird freaky plants over the years, then you're in luck, because we've created an Instagram page. So you can find the link in our description. You can find the link on our main page, and if I'm clever enough, I might be able to get a link somewhere up there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more YouTube stuff, then check out this video here. That's quite a good one. And if it doesn't float your boat, then another one right there. And enjoy these while I've still got the strength, imagination and aptitude to make them. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.